Today, I'm up on the roof again. Why do y'all make me get up here? I'm going over the plans, what I'm going to be doing in my ham shack, plus everything I've done so far. On Take Radio! Get me off of this damn roof! A quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Take Radio! Welcome to my ham shack. I am planning to have my future ham desk be right here. I'm thinking about a foot desk. Then on the wall, I'm going to have a patch panel with all my cables coming through. It'll be on the wall over here. I'm thinking about having a hutch built about yay-ish tall. And I want to have my UHF and VHF radios there. I'm probably going to have a CB radio and a couple other things sporadically around the hutch to decorate it. But let's head to the attic to see what's next. Well, here I am in the attic, trying to wiggle through. I don't have much room up here. I'm only going to be doing this once or twice, then I want to be done with it. That's why I decided to run my 4 or 5 cables just at once so I don't have to come back up here again. I'm literally crawling on my hands and knees, and sometimes it's difficult to do that. Plus, in here, I don't trust whatever this is. We came up here once and we started coughing. So I got a mask on. But let me get down there to show you what we're trying to get to. Right now, all these Ethernet cables I have running through my attic run from my electronics closet all the way down to my computer. So for the coax cable, if I could just drop it down somewhere to the left of that box, then that would be perfect. So right here is my chimney that sticks out of the house, and it looks like they didn't wall it into my attic. So I'm liking this idea because stick the project conduit box on the other side of that wall, have all the lightning arresters, then just poke a hole through that wall and come directly into the attic so I don't have to mess with running another conduit into the house. That's pretty hopeful. Now I just gotta crawl back all the way back there. It's a fun house up here. Why is this board canted? Oh, there's a light underneath there. Well, crap. Here I'm on my chimney. It was actually the wrong side, but the sun's right there, but you're gonna get the picture here. This is where I wanna mount my UHF and VHF antenna. And what I'm planning on doing here is, if I can figure out how to do it, I want a mast going up about 6 to 10 feet up in the air, but I want to attach it to a lever that when I want to work on my antenna, I could pull a pin and it rotates 90 degrees down. And then I can lock it back into place, mess with the antenna, do what I want, pull that pin again, rotate it back up, lock the pin back in, and it's not going anywhere. Because if I can figure out how to do something easier, especially on my roof, if I don't have to figure out how to unbolt and mess with all those antenna bases that they have out there, then it's just less dangerous for me up here as it is already. So let's pull a pin, rotate down, lock it in place 90 degrees, and it'll be horizontal to my roof here. Then I can do what I need, pull the pin, rotate it back up, lock it back into place. I have a couple ideas on that, but I'll probably get into it later. Then from there, I'm just gonna drop the antenna feed line all the way down to the ground to get grounded. But there's gonna be a junction box in between those two, so let's go ahead and talk about that next. I'm back. I had to take a shower after crawling through that attic space. I was a mess, but we're on the other side of the chimney, and this is what I'm planning on doing. I am going to put 2 junction boxes, one down here and one way up there. Each box is gonna have lightning arresters and a common grounding plate. Each plate will be bonded together, and this is why. The top box is going to be grounding and have the lightning arrestor for the UHF and VHF antennas. And then coming down here is going to be the quick access box for the HF antennas. I'm going to have 3 HF antennas here, and one is going to drop through another conduit, which I'll talk about in a bit. This box will have lightning arresters for all the HF lines going into the house and then grounded together. And then there's going to be right here my grounding rod for the whole system. Now let's go back to the HF line. That HF line is going, first antenna is going to drop through the box into a secondary conduit that is going to go underground a couple of feet and missing my sprinkler line that should be here somewhere, all the way to the fence line. Once it's at the fence line, I'm gonna have the conduit terminate. Then I'm just gonna run the feed line up and across the fence. This is just easy that way. Why bury another line? And wherever that antenna ends up going, it's gonna have another grounding rod and lightning arrestor there. But let's go back to grounding the house. My shack ground is gonna be here, and my house ground is on the other side of the house, and I'm gonna have to run a copper cable all the way around the house to here, and I'm gonna have to bond these together. Since it is such a great distance, I'm planning to drop a grounding rod every 10 to 15 feet. Just however, I can match it up. Here's a pan of my current studio. The empty spot's going to be my new ham shack desk once it arrives. And then there is my streaming / editing computer. I know some of y'all are going to want to know what's inside my computer. It is an AMD 3900X 12-core processor with 32 gigs of RAM. It has an NVIDIA RTX 1280 Super as a video card, and I have 2 SD cards. But you want to know the coolest feature? With one push of my foot, I can turn my studio lights on and off. Studio lights on, studio lights off. On, off. Eat that. Over here is the workbench, which I'm still using as a workbench. It's eventually going to get moved into the new studio. This is what's left of my old studio. I still have the shelving up there and a bunch of the stuff I had up there before. But now it's just kind of turned into storage. And over here, I put this rack in that I'm putting a bunch of my search and rescue gear and stuff I switch in and out and all my camping equipment on. So this room's starting to turn into storage, but I think I'm liking my new studio better. Well, that's my plan. That's my walkthrough on everything I want to try to achieve in the next couple of months. If you have any questions, suggestions, thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. This plan's evolving as I learn more and more about all this stuff. I will have another stream of all the experts and general knowledge I can put together and try to find the final preparations for everything. Until next time, y'all, go forth and conquer. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You can support me on Patreon. There is a link in the description below. And to all my tankers out there, go forth and conquer.